What's up, YouTube? This is GeForce 182 from XTS Gaming doing a weapons review on the engineering class MTAR-21 versus the ACW-R. First off, the MTAR-21 is 900 rounds per minute, has 30 rounds in the magazine, 1 in the chamber, does 25 damage at 1 meter, and down to 14.3 out of 50 meters. The first thing you'll notice about this weapon is its insane recoil. It pulls up and to the right. The hip fire is deadly, especially in close quarters. This is a heavy barrel and foregrip. I've equipped this weapon with a flash suppressor and a foregrip to try and control the recoil. Aiming down the sights and controlling the recoil. You can see I get a nice tight grouping there. Hip fire with the flash suppressor is a little bit more spread out as far as the bullet.
You can't run around anywhere.
This weapon is one to be used in close quarters and up to medium range. Equipped with a heavy barrel, you might be able to take out targets farther away, but close in, this weapon will dominate most other weapons. In the carbine class for the engineers, it's not as accurate long distance as the M4A1, but causes a lot more damage because its rate of fire can put people down much quicker than the M4A1, whether aiming down the sights or firing from the hip. There is a definite hip fire bonus for this particular weapon, where you're actually better off at times firing from the hip rather than aiming down sight. Because the fast rate of fire will expend your ammo much quicker, you need to have a good sidearm to be able to defend yourself in case you run out of ammunition or need to finish off an opponent. The biggest advantage of the MTAR-21 is its high rate of fire. It can kill people faster than any other carbine in the engineering class. The disadvantage is that it runs out of bullets faster. So the reload time, which is incredibly long at 3 seconds with bullets still in the chamber and 3.3 seconds when totally empty, means that you're totally vulnerable during that reload time, and you better even find a good place to hide or have a good sidearm to finish off your opponent so you can kill them before they kill you. The mobility and the bullpup design make this weapon very well suited for close quarters. And being in the engineer class is always a challenge, as you don't have the advantage of resupplying yourself with bullets like the support class or healing yourself like the assault class. This weapon, when equipped with a laser sight, will take down the opponent faster than any other carbine and many other assault rifles. Its disadvantage at distance, trying to keep the number of bullets on target because of the high recoil, makes it a difficult weapon to master at longer distance. The next weapon is the ACW-R in the engineering class. It fires 850 rounds per minute, 26 rounds in the magazine with 1 in the chamber, causes 20 damage at 1 meter, all the way down to 16.7 at greater than 50 meters, which is higher than any of the other carbines. When you compare the MTAR to the ACW-R and the M4A1, the MTAR has the fastest rate of fire, with the ACW-R being right in the middle and the M4A1 at the bottom. The reload time is the slowest for the MTAR, but the fastest for the ACW-R, which is actually slightly faster than the M4A1. The damage at longer range is better with the ACW-R. If you look at the recoil, this is a heavy barrel for this particular weapon. There isn't a whole lot, and aiming down the sight, you can get a very, very tight group.
Yeah, I'm shooting.
Now you may ask, is this weapon any good close quarters? It's actually not bad. Not quite as good as the MTAR, but effective. You're wondering if this particular weapon is good at medium range. It's actually pretty decent at medium range. You're able to engage targets and drop them at medium range with regularity because of the low recoil and accuracy of this particular weapon. And at long range, the question is, can you still damage your opponents with this particular weapon? Because it's got the 16.7 damage, if you can burst fire this particular gun and keep enough rounds on target, you can drop targets at long range. And that's the one advantage it does have over the MTAR, and a slight advantage over the M4A1. The one weakness you'll find with this particular weapon is that it may take you slightly longer time to kill your opponents because of the lesser damage that it causes at closer range. Whereas the M4A1 is pretty much an all-around type carbine weapon, this one has a slight advantage at longer range. It's average at close range and medium range. So it seems like the MTAR has become the close quarter specialist to medium range. The ACW-R has become the medium to longer range. And the M4A1 is basically your jack of all trades in the carbine class. The attachments I like to use on this particular weapon are the heavy barrel and the foregrip, although the foregrip may not be all that necessary because of the low recoil of this particular weapon. The heavy barrel helps concentrate the fire, especially at longer range, so you can get enough rounds on target to drop them. You'll find at times, sometimes at medium range to long range, that you don't drop the opponents fast enough. It does take some getting used to this particular weapon. I had just played this same map with the M16 in the previous round and was able to take out most of my targets easily within close and medium range. Using the ACW-R, I had to make sure that my focus at long range was much tighter to make sure that I would be able to drop the particular targets. And it was successful. It took me a while to get warmed up with it, but once I did, as you can see, I was able to rack up quite a few kills in this particular round. So my thoughts about these two particular weapons are that the MTAR-21 is the absolute beast at close quarters and can be effective out to medium range. The ACW-R, while being adequate at close range, is a little more accurate and can put down targets at a longer range. Somewhat similar to the M16A3 of the engineered class. The M4A1 might be the most versatile weapon of the carbines, but the ACW-R is a weapon that can be very effective once you get used to it. I hope you liked this review between the MTAR-21 and the ACW-R. Please post any comments below and like if possible. If there are any combinations that you'd like to see in the future, please post those as well, and I'll try to make a video on those particular weapons. Thanks again, YouTube. This is GeForce 182 signing off, leaving you with some gameplay of the MTAR-21 and the ACW-R. The end of this video is going to be good.
Cool.